go ahead and get going. I'm going to get the live stream spun up right now. GM. Hello, everyone in the chat. Welcome to another episode of Graph Builders Office Hours. All right, welcome to another episode of Graph Builders Office Hours. How's it going, Rashid? How's it going, Isan, Kaito, AI, Nancy? Hello, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Graph Builders Office Hours. Yana, thank you so much for hopping in as always. If anyone out there doesn't know, Yana from Pinax is always helping with the production of this live stream. So shout out to her. She is doing great with this. Hello. And we are into another episode of Graph Builders Office Hours. So I hope everyone's doing well this Thursday, June 19th. It is 1 o'clock here at Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. UTC. Welcome to the chat, Wim and Vic and Nancy and Kenichi. For those of you streaming on Graph Devs or on the Graph YouTube, feel free to continue streaming there. If you want to join the chat, come into the Graph Discord. I can see chat right over here, and I'm going to be chatting with anyone that has any questions throughout this episode. And this episode, I thought it was cool time to really dive into a little bit of GRC-20. So if anyone here has not heard of GRC-20 thus far, that's what we're going to go into. GRC-20 is a new spec that is being built upon and used within the Graph ecosystem right now, and it is fascinating. It has lots of different applications that are knowledge-based, and we'll talk what that means exactly and how that affects our day-to-day in the crypto space. But first, before we do that, a few announcements, what I want to go through. That's always important. If you haven't had a chance to try out Token API just yet, let me share my screen. And let's see, let's pull that up right now. Token API is right here. Let me share my screen. And it looks like everyone can see my screen. Very nice. So Token API, what we have is a series of endpoints that are available for developers today to get token data, to get wallet data. Now, this is different than subgraphs. This is different than substreams. If you think of the graph, that's awesome with subgraphs and substreams. Another product that we've just launched is Token API. So we do have some quick start docs in here. We also have an MCP server. Actually, we have two MCP servers that are baked in right now. So go ahead and use those with Token API and see what wallet data, see what token data you can get from a lot of different chains. Unichain was just added recently, and there's a lot of endpoints that you can go ahead and ping, including transfer events, balances by address, token metadata, open, high, low, close, volume by pool, liquidity pools. You can get all this information as well as NFT information. That's really cool. So if you hadn't had a chance to try it out yet, try out Token API. It's a new feature, new product from the Graph, and I think it's pretty dang cool. So shout out to the builders out there within the core dev teams that are working on Token API right now. It's a really nice product, and we're looking for feedback. So if anyone has any feedback about Token API, we would love to hear it. So feel free to reach out to me or reach out to anyone on our team, especially from the Pinax team. They are building a lot of this. So that's it for the announcements today. I want to go into GRC-20, and it's just going to be me today. I'm not going to have a guest on. What I want to do is start with the GRC SDK and kind of start talking from here. So what is GRC-20? Just let's back up a little bit. Think of the ERC-20, the token standard that we have, and essentially how that changed how we were able to share information about transactions, about financial transactions that are going around the blockchain billions of times every day. I mean, all the different chains, all the different amounts of tokens being shared, the ERC-20 and all of the different ERC iterations are a huge part of the blockchain space. So that's cool. That has provided the use case that DeFi is here and it's here to stay. Crypto is here to stay. It's doing very well. Now, there's another issue. It's unfortunately, there hasn't been a really good standard on how to share knowledge. Now, knowledge, of course, could be words, it could be audio, it could be video, it could be just more contextual things, and also dynamic relationships of this knowledge. And when this GRC-20 was proposed, this was, I don't know, a few months back, I didn't quite understand it. I didn't quite understand how knowledge could be programmatically composable and built upon. And it took me a few weeks, took me a few months to really understand it. Now, with this GRC-20 SDK, it means to abstract a lot of the confusion away from that process. And if you want to dive into the GRC-20 spec and see exactly what's going on, that's totally cool. I'm totally fine with developers diving in below the SDK and seeing what's going on with the spec. In fact, I have it right here. If anyone wants to super nerd out and read all of this information, you are free to take your time and dive in. The goal of the SDK is ideally that we don't have to know too much about this. All right, we could just plug it into our cursor and then just say, hey, you know the docs, go ahead and keep on building and build with this SDK on how to share knowledge with a crypto background and really have a crypto mindset when we're going into sharing knowledge. So I know it might have been a lot, and if anyone in chat has questions, feel free to drop questions on this. Travis, and I can't see your full name. I see it starts with a D. If anyone has questions, feel free to drop questions about the knowledge graph and GRC-20. I'm just going to go in and visualize this because that's, I feel, for me, the easiest way to learn this. There's lots of different ways to go through the GRC-20 and how it might be expressed, similar to the ERC-20, and how you're not exactly looking at tokens all day. You're looking at dashboards, and you're looking at UIs, but you're looking at the information that is powered by the ERC-20. It's very similar with GRC-20, where there's all these little bits of information and knowledge, and then therefore that needs to be presented in a nice way. And so let's go ahead and present that in a nice way. I built this little demo app, and I'm going to keep on extending this. I'm going to keep on working on this in the next few weeks. But the goal of this demo app, let's see, is to truly create a knowledge graph, to actually link knowledge together. And just talking through this and building this for myself has actually significantly helped me understand what the heck is going on in terms of knowledge sharing. So we'll get into this in a little bit and what all these little arrows and all these different nodes mean, and that's just fine. Let's back up a little bit and kind of share why this knowledge graph is so powerful. Backing up, a lot of times we share knowledge just through forms. I mean, we just simply go and grab a form and we just go up, and we say, hey, we're going to go ahead and fill out a form. And all right, do we have anything new to share? We have drop downs, that's great, and we're able to put in information right here. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with using a form to actually share knowledge. The real power of knowledge graphs is not just sharing bits of information, but actually creating relationships between that information. So this is a way that we could use the knowledge graph SDK. We could use this. We do have an ability to actually create, build off of previous topics and add more knowledge to that. I'm not going to go into that. I don't think this is the best way to actually visualize knowledge graphs. We could actually look at this as a feed, which is anyone here who has been through different block scanners, different chains, and seeing all the different transactions. You can see how, of course, there's data all the time. We can go to Etherscan, and we're able to see it in just lists and tables. And I mean, my goodness, we have terrible amounts of data facing us at any given day. We could see the from, we could see the to. We're able to see that there's relationships between this right here. This is of course helpful, but it's also not the best way, I think, to actually see how knowledge can be shared. It's simply transactions, and transactions is not knowledge, knowledge is not transactions. Let's go ahead and see what I think personally is my favorite way thus far to see how knowledge could be shared. It's actually visually. Now, let's go ahead. Let's say we want to create a new knowledge category. Let's go ahead and, I was, as you can see, testing here. This is a lot of testing I was doing today. I wanted to create a live stream topic, and then it is related to, and I created another entity called potato. That is not necessarily the best relationship itself, but you can, in fact, have a relationship right here. If you click on this, where live streams could, I could actually hold up a potato right here, could hold up a potato and have a very weird live stream. Now that is a relationship, and it is a weird relationship, but that can be created. And from there, what else could live streams, we have a live stream, which is a category right here, and then we have a relationship, and then we have another category right here, potato. Potato could have a whole nother way of looking at information of all the different thousands of types of potatoes out there. Now, I want to keep this very simple and direct. What can we do with more of these relationships? We could say, is there more knowledge that we want to add to live streams themselves? We could totally do that. We could say, hey, what are live streams? Live streams are live video feeds. Riverside FM is the live stream service of which I'm using now. We could add more knowledge to this exact knowledge category right here, or we could relate it to other things. Now, this is the root of knowledge graphs right here, where we can say we have a certain topic, or I call it a knowledge category. If you're looking at the SDK, it's known as an entity, and then it has another entity that it relates to, and this is another entity called a relationship entity, and then it relates to just a regular entity. So you have entity, relationship entity, and entity. These are all entities, but it's just these have a relationship entity. It's a different type of entity. So this is essentially exponential, where we could see, just in this silly example, where we have a single live stream, and we could add knowledge to all the different knowledge about not live streams. Live streams involve microphones. Live streams potentially involve headphones. Like, we could add more information here. And then from there, we can say, all right, how do we want to relate this knowledge to something else? So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's say, if anyone has a suggestion in chat for what they would like to relate a live stream to, I'm going to relate it to a new knowledge category. We're going to say microphones, all right? And so share knowledge. Microphones are responsible for picking up audio and transmitting the audio to either broadcast or or recording. All right, so we can publish to GRC-20. That is essentially what we're doing here. Is we're going to IPFS with this data, sending it to IPFS, it's pinning it there, and then from there we're bringing it on chain. Now this testnet is on Sepolia, Ethereum Sepolia, so of course if anyone wants to go ahead and build on this SDK, they are free to, where when the actual GRC-20 testnet is functional, we'll be able to go there instead. But right now, we're just demoing, we're just getting this over the line, which is just fine. So it is right now going to be on Ethereum Sepolia, and it's using the SDK right now to have this new bit of knowledge published on IPFS and then actually anchored on chain. So let's scroll over here, and now we have microphones. So we have another topic, essentially, a knowledge category. So we have live streams, they're related to potato. All right, that's a silly type of link, but what if we could link more knowledge? And we can. So we just drag that over, link it to the top, and now we have a knowledge relationship. So now we have a relationship type. What kind of type is this? I'll zoom in a little bit so everyone can see. There we go. How are live streams related to microphones? Live streams, let's say, just say is related to, or live streams implements microphones. I would say that's a reasonable relationship type. So live streams use microphones to communicate effectively. Now, this might seem a little pedantic. This might seem a little like, why are we doing this? Why are we creating relationships? Why are we, creating knowledge? This seems quite nitty gritty, in the weeds. Why don't we just, YOLO crypto and, to the moon? That's being done. YOLO crypto to the moon is being done, and that's taken care of. What we're seeing in the world today very much is how knowledge itself and the sharing of knowledge is, I gotta do this one more time. Sometimes we have this error because the nonce is too low. That's okay. as an error with my MetaMask. Let's see, live streams. I want live streams. Let's try that one more time. Hopefully this works. It'd be nice if this worked. Defines, not defines, implements. Live streams implement microphones. That's fine. All right. Hopefully this works. If it doesn't, that's okay. We can see the relationships. Let's make a transaction. There we go. Nonce 78. We'll let this finish. So, what was I saying? Yes, essentially we're able to look on chain and say, hey, cool. We have all this information on chain. We can verify it, and we can say, hey, there's actually a good amount of trust that we can have in the blockchain. But are we able to have that same type of trust with just knowledge, with strings? Are we able to have that trust with just sharing of information? How can we get down to the root source? It is more difficult to do that as opposed to just looking at transaction data at this point. Hopefully this goes through. Transfer request, come on now. Submitting transaction. If this doesn't go through, that's okay. Of course, I'm building in public, and that's what we're doing here. So we're able to verify transactions very well through blockchain. We are not able to verify more contextual knowledge as well. And that is what GRC-20 is aiming to do, where if we are able to create a trusted relationship with our money on chain, wouldn't it be nice to create a trusted relationship with knowledge on chain? And there we go, transaction successful. There we go. I don't know why that happened. That's okay. So here we go. Now, oh yeah, apparently this happened twice. Sometimes it goes through, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. But now we have a relationship where we have live streams and it implements. Unfortunately, that hover is behind. My CSS skills need a little bit of work. And come on, is that going to hover correctly? Maybe I can drop it down here. There we go. I can. CSS needs a little bit of work from me. So live streams. We are able to share knowledge about live streams. We are able to put in facts about live streams. We're able to then create a relationship with live streams, implement microphones. And we could see context here quickly. Live streams, also, they're related to Potato, and that is hilarious. Maybe not hilarious, but we are able to have live streams about potatoes as well. So this can become very big, very fast. Now this is a knowledge graph. To me, this is a knowledge graph where we can see already how information essentially relates to other information. And we can see how this becomes, well, it could become quite overwhelming quite fast. And I don't think this is the best UI for individuals or developers to push forward with this for scaling, essentially. I feel like this is good sandbox to get your kind of scaffold ETH or speedrun Ethereum, where you're looking at all of those different nodes and you're actually able to visualize what's going on. That's essentially what we're trying to do here. We're trying to visualize what's going on with this. And shout out to Scaffold ETH, of which this is being built on. It has the nice wallet connect and it has all these nice features. So Potato is a level 2 relation microphone now. Yes. If anyone wants to suggest more relations, feel free. Yana, you are free to suggest more relations or any more knowledge categories, such as live streams or microphones. We can keep on going with this. And that's the cool thing about a knowledge category. The goal of this GRC-20 spec, and well, this extension, I will be extending this over time to allow this to be multiplayer. I do want to put this onto Vercel, so developers and normies alike can go ahead and share their knowledge and go ahead and link their knowledge in a dynamic way. This is only a one-player thing right now because this is what I'm building. But of course, I think it would be damn cool if we could all share knowledge in a visual manner. My first push is to say, let's share it every day, and then every single day this will be a clean slate. We'll just wipe it clean because this could get very busy very fast. And I think it's great if it gets very busy very fast. I think that's a good problem, but I do want this to be more educational in effect and less production purpose to actually scale and build a app beyond this teaching purpose. So I hope this was helpful for anyone who's interested in GRC-20 today. I think it was helpful for me as an exercise to really see what this spec can do. Now this spec is this spec is more complex than this. I used very simple ways of expressing GRC-20. There are many, many more ways to express the GRC-20 spec. Go ahead and dive into the SDK. Go ahead and see what different tools can be used inside of this SDK. Shout out to the Geo team for working on this. I really think this is quite nice. And then also, if you really want to go into it, go ahead and read through this. And what I've been doing to help me out is throwing this information into an LLM and just talking through it. I'm a visual learner, I'm a verbal learner. I like to see, touch, taste. I like to actually dive in, and that's been quite helpful for me in my learning journey. So, with everything being said right there, I'll keep this short and sweet. I don't necessarily think I need to go too much more. Let me stop sharing. Where is the stop share? Stop sharing. There we go. I don't think there's a whole lot more I need to do to share GRC-20 and its potential for knowledge sharing. I think that was relatively clear. It's saying we're taking what made blockchain amazing in ERC-20, taking what we've learned from that and bringing that to knowledge, of which, wouldn't it be nice if, with all the crap going on in the world right now, to actually have some knowledge that was a little bit more decentralized and verifiable beyond the major institutions. And so that would be quite nice, and having a way that we could report and have a healthier way of sharing knowledge, which right now it feels like we're doing our best. I'm not saying we're doing a terrible job, but I think a better job can always be done. So that's a short one. That's a sweet one. I hope everyone here enjoyed learning a little bit about GRC-20 and the SDK. Feel free to dive in to that SDK. Feel free to dive in and explore. I think it's a really cool one. And one more thing. Let me just double check here. I need to check to see if this information is live before I talk about it. There we go. Okay, that probably would be helpful if anyone here is going to be going to Ethereum Global, ETH Global Con, because what's happening is, boom, ETH Global. The graph, we are having prizes. If you are a hacker and you would like to hack, feel free to hack on the graph prize, which, guess what? We're going to be using GRC-20 TS library in a dApp and build an application on the knowledge graph framework. So I think that this little video might be helpful for developers to kind of wrap their mind around GRC-20 and knowledge graphs. I think that might be a little bit helpful. So this is on ETH Global's website, ETH Global Con. That's coming up in a few days. And hopefully that was helpful for the builders out there. So for everyone on the Graph YouTube and Graph Devs, thank you for tuning in. And for everyone in the Graph Discord, thank you for tuning in. Yana, thank you so much for helping out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. And I wish everyone here a great rest of your Thursday. And keep on building, keep on building, keep on building. Take care, everyone.